All right, welcome out to the Pirates Cove podcast. This is episode number 3. Uh, so we're back. As I said, we're going to be doing a podcast every Wednesday here on the Pirates Cove. We'll be breaking down. We'll be talking about the Rockport softball girls, the baseball boys, the RF soccer boys and girls. We have some special recognitions today on some of our athletes. We'll be talking about the tennis team as well, and we'll also be talking about 3 of our girls that'll be they qualified for state and powerlifting. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Johnny, I hope that I've got everything right. I was scribbling all kinds of things. I got my notepad. I don't have napkins this time, but it's everywhere. So I'm gonna try to do the best I can. But here we are again. Got my sidekick, Johnny Zavala. He's with me every Wednesday, helping me break down these games. Johnny, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good, doing good.
Yeah, today was a beautiful day, man. Sun came out. We've had it's just been feeling good. A little cool in the morning, but not so cold. I think the cold is kind of gone for the year, and I think we're getting into the summer here pretty soon. I mean, spring. I like the sun coming out, right? It makes you feel good. But I think wintertime is just about over for the year, man. At least I hope so. I'm ready for some sun. So, Johnny, as we always start out on the Pirates Cove, we always start off with talking about the Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates softball team. We still got a lot. The girls are still ranked number 1 in 4A in the state of Texas, which is awesome. Congratulations to the girls and Coach Reyes, Coach Garza, and Coach Jeffries as they continue to do an awesome job with our girls. And Johnny's going to break down. The girls had, I believe, Johnny, a tournament Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They didn't play Friday, but Thursday and Saturday. So Johnny will be breaking down the games, and also our second district game was yesterday when the girls traveled over to Miller. Got a big win, so I'll turn it over to Johnny and let him start breaking down the games.
Yes. Again, we're ranked number one. Everybody was kind of concerned with that last loss, with that one loss against Carroll. I was kind of debating whether we were going to lose that number one spot too, but Carroll's a very strong team. I think they've lost 3, 4, something like that. I know 2 of the games they've lost against is against Santa Gertrudis, which Max Prep has them as number 5 in the nation. Is Santa Gertrudis. So that's showing you what kind of games teams we've been facing out there. Um, but starting off with that Carroll game, that was again our first loss of the season. Um, these girls battled back. I mean, these girls didn't go down. I mean, they were down 4-1, going in that 5th inning, and we came back and tied that game 4-4. And they came to the bottom of their order, bottom of their inning, and that's when they took the lead. And tournament rules, there's a time limit. Uh, I think in the long run, this could have been a very interesting long game. I think both teams got used to the pitchers. So, you know, we out hit them 10-9, and it was. I mean, it was. You couldn't ask for a better team to play against us. That's a good Carroll team, and I'm hoping that later on down the season, um, as the season ends, usually a lot of teams like playing a little like a pre warm up game before the playoffs, and I think Carroll would be a great team to play. Schedule something like that later on down the road. Um, Sierra took the loss. Gave up 9 hits, gave up 5 runs, struck out 5, but she didn't put anybody on the base on the walk. Emma Grosclose was the offensive player of that one, going 3 for 3, having those 2 RBIs. This girl's hitting those RBIs in. Um, but it was. I'm pretty sure it was a little wake up call. And as we go back to the last podcast, I said, this would be a good time to lose. A perfect time to lose. From here on, it's on. This was a tournament. not even non-district teams, not even in our district, higher classification. You couldn't ask for a better loss. This was a game I was um, not hoping to lose, but the loss I wanted to get out of the way. You can't go perfect. I don't think anybody can go perfect. Um, so it's a good game to lose to. So it woke us up. It's start another streak. Let's get it. Um, but it didn't let these girls down. They came back and won. We played Victoria East. Beating them 5-2. Sierra Galvan came up with the win, giving up only 2 hits, no runs, pitched 4 innings, struck out 7, and only walked 1. The entire team did have no errors. Uh, Mikey Dominguez went 4 for 4, had a run scored, 3 RBIs, a stolen base. This girl almost went for the cycle, or she would have cranked one over. She had a single, she had a double. The hardest thing to get in the cycle was a triple. This girl kept popping over, so she was one over the fence, or even going around his inside the Parker home run. That's kind of unheard of for softball. It's going for the cycle. Uh, our next game was against Flower Bluff. I think this was the Saturday. We go from Thursday to Saturday. I expected this to be a good game. Flower Bluff it's always good in softball. I think 2 years ago they made it all the way to the quarterfinals. So this is a good team. Flower Bluff is a good team, and it showed. We didn't blow them out. But we came up with the win, 4-0. We shut them out. That was a big positive. Beating another bigger school for us. Sierra came up with the win. She had a two-hit shutout. She pitched 6 innings, struck out 14 Hornets, and put nobody on the base on ball. No walks. And she also came up with a home run at the plate. So she was big in that game. She came up. That Carroll game didn't knock her down. So the girls were just hitting everywhere. Mikey, Crystal, Peyton all had 2 hits. Crystal had an RBI with a run scored. This was a big win. That's a big school. That's a great way to start off your Saturday. But that didn't stop for Rockport. We faced Moody, a little bit lower caliber team. Moody ain't the team that they used to be back in the 90s, but still a bigger school. We won on a 10-run rule, winning 12-2. Jordan Hall came up with that win, giving up 7 hits, 2 runs. She pitched 4 innings, struck out 3. Again, she didn't walk anybody that game. The team had 13 hits. Sierra Galvan, she went 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and also had another home run that game. That was the end of that tournament. That was something to Carroll game didn't knock us down. We came back with Flower Bluff. We came back with Moody. Ended up stronger. So that was some good wins on that one. Our next game, which we played last night, was against Miller over at Cabinet Field. I expected a little bit more of a fight from Miller on this one. The only thing I was kind of concerned was our first inning. Girls, I don't know if any of y'all watch this. Just because we're number 1, don't let down. You go all out. Okay, you want to go better than that. You're number 1 in the state in 4A, but you're not the better team out there. There's other type. Be best in Texas. Be best. All classifications. Let's get better. I'll come back to that later on. But Kimbo, Sierra, and Jordan had a no-hitter, a combined no-hitter. Kind of rare that you pitch in 1 pitcher per inning, 1, 2, 3. We won what we call, many of y'all don't know, but there's a softball, it's also 10 runs after 5 innings. But after 3 innings, you score 15 runs. There's a 15-run rule, mercy rule after 3 innings. And that's how this game ended, 3 innings, 18-0. Between the 3 girls, they they only gave up one walk between the three. They struck out three. One each pitched one inning. The girls came out with 17 hits. I mean, everybody was hitting this game. You know, Maddie Mann, Peyton Martinez, Emma Grosskos all had 3 hits this game. Um, Maddie Mann went for three, scored 3 runs, had 4 RBIs, and also cranked one over the fence. A nice line drive too. Uh, Peyton had 2 stolen bases. That girl was hustling all over that field. Um, but I I just hope that after that game, during that game, we just need a little bit more pep. Yeah, Miller's not a great team. You don't want to go lightly. You know, you still want to go full force. You still want to bring that bat, even though you expect that the ball's going to hit the ground. You know, you got to want to sprint either way. You know, because in your mind you think you're going to do that in a big game. You know, that could be big. You know, you could be facing that St. Columbia team. You know, that best center fielder hitting out there. We're walking to first base. That ball drops. That's big. That's huge. Okay. Something that should have been the double, but we're standing on first. Okay. So, little small things. Just because we play a weak team, you know, don't mean to let down because you'll get used to that. Um, but overall, you know, the hits came along. The hits came along that game. There were solid hits. A little work because it was a slower pitcher, but it slow down these guys. But on top of that, I wanted to throw some things out there. Emma Goldclose is a freshman. Don't know if she ever played before softball. I don't know her that well. She's a little younger than what I'm used to watching. This girl has come around the last few games, big time. In the last 5 games, she's on 9 for 12 in the last 5 games. That's a batter average of 750.
Wow.
Um, in fact, she's leading the team in batting average, hitting 522. The only one above her is I wouldn't consider her in a batting average because she only has 3 at bats. Is Lydia Zavala with a 667, but I'm going at least with 20 bats minimum. But Emma's up there on 522 with batting average, and I'm big on the RBIs. I'm gonna say it over and over and over. Sierra Galvan is leading the RBIs. I call them kings back then because I can call it, you know, RBI queen on this one. You know, she's leading the team with 18 RBIs, which is great. You know, you always want to get those runs in. Getting those runs in wins you ball game. Um, Going into that, after that, our next game would be at home game. It is a home game. Um, I don't know what kind of protocols we have, how many people we can have in there. Um, but this game is going to be played at 7 o'clock next Tuesday against West Oso. West Oso is one of the weaker teams in the district. They're 0-2 in the district, 2-5 in the season. West Oso has given up 13 runs a game, which is very poor. Their 2 district games are against Sinton. They lost 1-19 and the Calhoun 0-12. But if we can't, if there's some kind of amount of people that can go in the field, into the stadium, bring your trucks. A lot of people like to line up the trucks outside the fences, and reverse their trucks back there and park back there. You'll see some other trucks out there. It's a good way to watch a game out there. You know, you're out there away from everybody, enjoying the game. You know, so that's a good fun way. I mean, it started a while back, and it's still continuing bringing your trucks out there, parking it back there. But hopefully we come up with a big win. That's going to be our only game into our next podcast is the West Oso game, which, you know, we don't have a game this Friday. This is going to be played on Tuesday. So we don't have another one. So this one we should take care of, you know. But again, don't take a team like this so lightly. Let's score all out. Let's score all those runs at first inning. And, let's put a little mercy rule real quick. Okay, let's not take anybody lightly. I said this last podcast about bringing in what we're going to face later on. once we finish district, so that way we can get used to what's going on around South Texas. Um, we will be playing in the first round. I'm assuming that we will make the playoffs. Um, we're going to be playing District 25 4A. This consists of Bay City, Lamarck, Columbia, Brazosport, Eatville, Stafford, and Sweeney. Um, these guys just started their districts also. Some of the scores that, just keep up what's going on with that district. Bay City beat Lamarck 16-0. Columbia, which we have faced up in the Sweeney tournament, beat Brazosport 12-6. Eatville beat Stafford 23-0. Sweeney had a bye this first round. Uh, there's some big scores out there. Uh, Columbia, we know what they got. We had a little trouble scoring on them, but Brazosport scored 6 on them. So that whole district's still pretty tight. We don't know what's going to be 1 through 4. We were assuming that Columbia was going to be the district champion, but after seeing Bay City scoring 16, Needville scoring 23, we don't know what we're going to face after that. Some big head-up games for that district coming up on the 12th. It's going to be Columbia, Needville. Just, we know what Columbia has, and on the 16th will be Needville and Brazosport. So it's something to look into.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, and how about our district? We're sitting their record, Ingleside, their record, and even Calhoun. I know we played them first. I don't know if Calhoun played a district game, their second district game already. But where's Calhoun sitting and Ingleside sitting right now in our district?
Calhoun is sitting at 1-1. Ingleside is sitting at. Oh, you threw me on.
I'm sorry. I just thought I'd ask because I know I didn't check it, so I didn't know if you had it or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. You got
I don't
anything
want
on
to say
sitting?
something that not to be right.
Right, we can get on the next podcast. You know anything on sitting?
uh, Sitting is one. No, I don't. I know they
Okay.
won one last night.
Okay. Now we'll get it. We'll get on the podcast. I know you were going to do the other districts. I was just kind of sitting there because, I'll tell you. I'll go back to the Carroll game. You and I have talked about that Carroll game. It was a good one, like you said. It was a. They jumped on us in the third inning, I think, and it was single after single, right? And they scored the runs. But I got to tell you, Johnny, in that last inning that we batted, we came back strong, and that's how you need to fight, even when you're facing adversity, and you can say, because we ain't been down really this season in a game. This is the first time since I've been following the girls that they were actually down. They've been. I mean, it's been close, but we've always had the lead. It seems like, and this was a test for our girls. They're down this last inning. What are they going to do? And they showed a lot of fight to come back to tie it. And like you said, we ended up losing by one. But what a fight! Because you're going to need that fight as you continue down district and into the playoffs. I love the fight that we had. And I told you before, we played Carroll again. This is just, in my view, my opinion, we beat them next time. I mean, that's just what I think. I think these girls they can do something special. They're set up to do something special. We got a really good team. You've talked about the pitching that we have, which is strong. We have the ace. The other two girls, I believe, will continue to come along as this district moves forward and the season progresses. But the hitting too. We can hit from the top to the bottom. I mean, you just talked about Emma Grosclose, who's a freshman, who's coming up big in big games. I mean, we're depending on her, man. Can she get a run in and get herself on base? And man, and she's been producing just about every single time she's had to. You talked about what her percentage is, I think, in batting, and then she gets herself on base and knocks in runs, but also gets herself on base when that top of that lineup comes in. So you got Mikey coming up, you've got Maddie and then Sierra coming up. So getting her on base, being able to bring in runs in the bottom of the batting order, and then putting herself on base to be able to come in when these other girls come up, the Pirates. I think that's going to be big for Rockport. That's going to be huge advantage for us if we can continue to stay consistent at the bottom of that order, to knock in runs, and be able to get ourselves on base because, our power hitters, we're going to have off day. It just happens. You're not going to be on every game. So you need these other girls, man, to come up. And I think that's what excites me about Rockport is, not just the pitching and the fielding, but the batting has been good. And when they put the batting and the pitching together, this team is almost unbeatable. They're hard to beat. So, if the pitching's on, if our hitting's off a little, our pitching's on. And if our pitching's a little off, our hitters are on. So it's really good to see these girls. I know the loss was something that I didn't want to take, but it's hard to go undefeated nowadays. And so, the girls did bounce back, like you said, going into the very next game. They didn't have very much time to rest. They jumped right back in to play a pretty good team, and they bounced back. And then they go in on Saturday. They get a day's rest on Friday, come back on Saturday, and they beat a pretty good Flower Bluff team, and then they go ahead and beat Moody. So, you know, even though they got that loss, they turned it around, and that's what you want to see, right? As a coach, you want to see, how are we going to respond to a loss? How are these girls going to respond? And they did exactly what you're supposed to do. It's one game; it means nothing. The ranking's good. If you come out and you're number one, that's great. If you don't, and you're top five, top 10, doesn't really matter. The ultimate goal is to continue to get better and get into the playoffs, and get to that state title game and win a championship. Right, that's the goal. So these girls bounce back really well. Like I said, they in the last podcast, Johnny, they have the leadership. You've seen these young girls play big. Kutash hit a triple in one of those games. So you got these girls that can hit. And then, of course, like I said, our pitching has been there, so it's good to see these girls. I think the district, Johnny, is going to be tough. It's not going to be a cakewalk. Sitton's going to be there. Ingleside, may or may not give us a run. We know what Calhoun's going to be. They're going to be in a game, but I think that these tough games are going to prepare us when we get into like that district that you're talking about and beyond. We got to be able to fight through these tough games, and we've been able to do that so far. And I think that the girls will continue. And of course, it's icing on the cake, right? To be able to still stay number one in class four and stay even with one loss. So the coaches see something in this team, as do our coaches and our fans as well. But you got to go out there and play, because if you don't, you can get beat at any time. And then, like I said last week, Johnny, the number one ranking just gives it a little, people want to beat you already, but being that you're carrying that number one, people are they're going to come after you every game because they want to be recognized. And what better way to get recognized, for your team to get recognized in district or anything, by beating the number one team. You beat the number one team and you get recognized. So these girls got a target on the back, like I said last week. They're going to continue to have one. But I think they can continue to play tough. I think they're going to show other teams why Rockport's rank number one in the state of Texas. So congratulations to these girls. And let's continue the winning ways, girls. The community backs you up. They've got something. They could do something very special this year, and so we're definitely, as fans, going to do our part to continue to support them. Like I said, guys, when you see something, not just on the softball team on social media, but when you see something on any other, the soccer, anything that you see, and you come across it on Facebook or Twitter, like it, make a comment, and good luck, man. These girls see the things that we're posting, and it juices it up, right? To know that, I know if I was playing and I saw all these things, man, it just gives you a great feeling, and it pumps you up. And I'm not, Pirates Cove ain't the only one posting things. There's other outlets, other social media pages that are doing the same. So when you come across something, a congratulations, a good luck, way to go, girls, in any sport that we post up or like to post, is something small, but it goes a long ways for our girls or our boys to see the support that they're getting from the community. And then I'll finish this off by saying, Johnny, like you said, I don't know if there's a restriction for if you have to wear a mask. I wear mine no matter where I go. But if there's a limit to how many people can go, but if you don't hear nothing, Go down there. Let's pack this stands up with the support for the Rockport-Fulton softball team. And like Johnny said, when we run out, we can park our trucks. I think you said center to left field, Johnny, or somewhere out there. We can
Yes.
bunch out there and make a lot of noise and just show these girls that the community supports them. And we're going to continue to support them all the way to state, right? So it's been great. Great win yesterday. We'll have another game against West Oso, but like you said, Johnny, whether they're weaker or they're not up to the caliber of a Rockport team, if you don't come out and play tough, you can get beat by any team, and then those bad habits start to carry on, and you don't want to do that. So you play every game like if you're playing a state game, right? That's the best way of doing it, and then just let the chips fall where they may. So again, our girls, what's their total record, Johnny? I think
13-1.
13-1. I didn't write it down. Wow, that's great, and we're going to continue with their winning ways. So great. That's great. You talked a little bit about Emma and some of these other girls. And is there anything else you want to say before we move on from softball?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to go on. I don't know how I passed up these our own district. Here I am talking about other districts. Uh, I noticed there were some lopsided scores though last night. But like I said, I like to follow this District 25. This is going to be the first round who we face. Um, so I'll be talking a little bit, as we go more into what how those teams are doing, where they're staying around, what position they're playing at. Um, and I think next week I'm going to start throwing a little bit more districts, which will be our second round, which will be District 27, which includes Cuero, Navarro, Gonzales, Lavernia. There's only four
Right.
teams in that district, so they all go. What order? I don't know. Right now, nobody knows. Um, then the other districts, 28, which 27, 28 going to play each other. The district 28 is Bandera, Bourne, which is Bernie, which is number 9 in the state. Canyon Lake, Davenport, Fredericksburg, which is number 8 in the state, and Wimberley.
Mm.
Uh, I can tell you what, that Bernie and that Fredericksburg game, it's going to be one hell of a game. You got number 8 and 9 playing in the same district.
Well, well, don't forget, Johnny, they also just had it out in basketball as well.
So
With
I
Fredericksburg
wrote, I
beating
wrote
them.
down the
Yeah,
date somewhere. I think it was like
yeah,
March 26th or something like
yeah,
that. They're playing
yeah.
against each other.
Those
Uh,
schools have a good those schools have a good rivalry. They had a good rivalry here in basketball too, where Fredericksburg I think beat them twice, and then Bernie took them in the playoffs. So there's competition there. It's like you said, it's gonna be a tough district for us, and the road's gonna get tougher in the playoffs. And so, but that's you're number one, and whether you are or not, you play every team. I mean, to get to state, it's never easy, but I think these girls, they're special, and they put in a lot of hard work. And this doesn't, and I've said it, this didn't happen at ninth grade. This is these girls, a lot of them, if not all of them or most of them, right? They've been doing this since they were kids, youth. This is where it started for these girls, a hunger to try to get better. And then when they started to get into junior high and high school, they start playing and they continue to do it. So what you're seeing now is years of hard work and parents committing to these kids, and we don't talk a lot about the parents, but the sacrifices that they have to make, the traveling. I see a lot of these kids, they're traveling, they're in another state, playing and just continuing to play and play, but it all leads to what we're seeing now, because to win a state title you can't have three or four good players. You have to be a team. You only win as a team. Some people have three great players, but if the rest of the team, isn't getting better, you really may get to a district. You may get to a round or two, but to get to that state title, you win by being a good team, not individuals. And I think this team's starting to understand that years ago, that what it takes, and this is what this team has now. This is a team effort. They can all play. They all want to win. It seems like they have the same goals. So hopefully, um, the end result will be Rockport will be the last team standing. That's what I'm hoping for. But it's going to be a great ride to watch these girls this year, and we're going to continue to follow them, and we're going to continue to have this podcast on Wednesday, every Wednesday, to give the community updates on how these girls are doing. And Johnny, not only that, but we're also posting when they have a game. I've been able to get familiarized with the girls now, some of the parents. And so we're also giving updates on our social media pages and giving prompts to these girls and keeping the community updated. I'm hoping to be able to catch more games here real soon. And hopefully I'll be able to videotape the game, get myself in a position where I can videotape the game and maybe go live. I'd like to be able to do that, not just give updates on a social media page, but actually go live so people can actually see our girls perform. Those that aren't able to go to the games, I think our community and the people that support softball here at Rockport would enjoy to be able to watch a game. So hopefully I can get to doing that here in the next game or so. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Johnny breaks down the games for us. He does the researches. Yeah, he researches these games when he has time, which is a lot of his time to try to break down our district, see what the other teams are doing, and then going in, like he's in the playoffs. He's the one that's doing all of the research of finding out what these other teams are doing so that he can go ahead and come on this podcast and give you guys updates so that we continue to have updates on how well the other teams are doing as well, not just our team. So, Johnny, I just want to say thank you for doing that, man. I've got a lot on my plate, so I'm glad that you're taking care and doing that. Yes, sir.
One more thing. You know how we have like every sport, every level, especially collegiate level, you always have the different kind of stats and different kind of rankings. You know, you're always going to have one ranking and another ranking. Another ranking came out. Max Prep came out with the new rankings now. Uh, so on the Max Prep ranking, we have North Lamar, which was the Coaches Association ranking. They have them number two. North Lamar's number three at this one. They're from the number two region. Smithville from the number three region was number four on the other rankings. They are number two on this one. And at the number one is Iowa Park. Rockport's number four on this Max Prep state rankings. Iowa Park showed something in a tournament that he hosted. They went 5-0. They outscored their opponents 54-1. Two pitchers threw two perfect games by the names of Abby Dow and Maddie Fulfer. They're from the Region 1. So that's somebody that we can see maybe way down the line.
Well, I'll say bring them on, Johnny. Now I'm just a fan. I don't want to be talking for the girls, right? But I get excited, man. I get excited. Go ahead.
That's all I had.
Hey,
Basically what I was saying is like earlier. I said I was going to come back to this. Is because you're number one in one ranking. Let's be better. Let's show Max Prep that we can be number one too. Let's be number one in all classifications. Let's get that.
absolutely. Absolutely, Johnny. You want to stay hungry, and it is hard to stay hungry. I know when you're number one, and we as fans, right? We like to brag. We love sports. You and I love sports, like a lot of people in this community. And when your team is ranked number one, you get excited, right? So you brag to everybody at work. I know I do, man. I'm talking about somebody's going to tell me just to shut the hell up next time because everybody, that's enough. But I tell anybody that's not even from Rockport, hey man, these softball girls, we're number one. They just kind of look at me, I mean, I'm excited, man. And and then anybody I see that's from Rockport, because there is a lot of people that have told me, hey, I didn't know the girls were number one, so they don't really know you. You just assume, right? But there's a lot of people that don't know, and that's why we want to come out on this podcast and our social media pages to inform the people. It's an exciting time, but for the fans, we're excited and we're going to brag. For the players and the coaches, it's just another day at work, right? The ranking's good. You take a look at it, maybe you talk about it, but you put that on the back burner. The girls shouldn't be thinking about that ranking. You got to continue to get better, and you got to play tough, and you just got to play and you got to stay hungry. And the best way to stay hungry is in your mind when you look at it. You say, okay, we're number one. You enjoy it for a little bit, and then you put it out of your mind, and you're going back like I'm fighting for that respect. Like I'm not getting that respect, and you play that way. you play with the chip on your shoulder, because you get that number one, you let it get to your head. All of a sudden, you get a little soft sometimes. You play like no one's giving you respect. You play like, you're out there. In every game, you're proving yourself. That's the way you continue to win and you get better. So for Rockport, it's great to be number one. I think it's more for the fans and the community to just continue to brag and just every week that they're number one, it just gives us more, another week to be able to talk. But for the girls and the coaches, it's just another day at work. You got to put that, I think, in my opinion, behind you, and you just go to work every day like you're still trying to fight for that number one spot. Like you're not there, you're not even a top 20, and you're just reaching to get to that number one. You play like that, and good things happen. You don't want to get complacent and feel like, oh, we're just going to win this game because on any given softball day, right, a game day, any team can beat you if you're not prepared. So you got to stay hungry, prepared, and focused. And this team, I think, can do that. And hopefully, it's going to be able to take us all the way to state because I believe that we got a really good chance to win it. And you say it's going to be easy, but we got the talent to grind any game out that we need to for a win and continue to move forward until we're the last team standing. So hopefully that will be the case. And I can tell you, Johnny, that every night when I say my prayers, I throw the Rockport Pirates in there too, the Lady Pirates. It doesn't hurt. And so a little help, a little prayer, man, goes a long way. So hopefully that can continue as well. I just kind of want to throw that out there, man, because I do put them in my prayers as well. Um, Anything else on softball?
That's it.
Okay. Um, Johnny, before we move on to the other sports, I do want to say that I am working on bringing some music on. I love music. And I've got some guys that are doing some designs for me, for the gridiron. We're just now starting to talk about getting a design going for the Pirates Cove. So that's still um, in the works. I don't have a design for the Pirates Cove yet, but we're definitely talking about it. But definitely on the Gridiron 64, that should be coming out soon. To have a design on my social media pages, where we'll have a logo and we'll have a color already. All that's been set, but now we're working on one for the Pirates Cove. But I also want to include music, and I've come across a band that they told me, that they could play for me to give them music. We just need a couple of minutes for the intro and the ending to give some music to our Pirates Cove. So I'm going to be working on that. Get some music so when we come on this podcast, our intro, we'll have an intro with some good music, and then we'll end our podcast with some music. So I just kind of want to throw out there that's something that's coming, not next week, but we're definitely working on it to bring it as soon as possible. If not this year, definitely we'll have it next school year. But it's coming. We just got to be a little bit patient, a little bit of patience, but it's coming. Um, Johnny, I wanted to talk a little bit about soccer, and I hope I don't leave anybody out. I did the best I could. I'm trying to get a hold of some parents for these other sports because I don't want to say anything on here that's not accurate. But I'm still working on that. So if I say something that's not right, you can correct us. You can comment. I don't take offense to that. I want to get it right. So if I say something that wasn't right or anything, feel free to comment and just tell me, and correct it because the people that do watch this, I want to make sure that we get it right. And so I'm still trying to work. I have talked to some parents on the boys soccer team, still looking to see if I can get some connections on the girls soccer team. But our boys, I was able to find out they're currently in first place, Johnny, which is awesome. I talked last week about our soccer programs, which they've been good for the last couple of years. The boys' soccer coach, I believe, is Coach Elkins. I hope I got that right. And our boys sit currently at a record of 9-5, like I said, in first place. They had a game scheduled this past Friday to travel to Port Lavaca. Now that's the only game I believe that they've lost was to Port Lavaca, the first go around in district, and so they were scheduled to go on the second go around, and it got canceled. It got postponed. Um, Now we've got news that that game is going to be played, I believe, this Saturday at 11 a.m. in Port Lavaca. So We're going to be posting tomorrow on the Pirates Cove social media, Twitter, and Facebook page in support of these boys. This is a big game for our boys. If they win this Calhoun game and they win out, they're district champs, which is big for our program. So when we post this up for the Rockport community that sees this, you know, fill it up with a bunch of likes. Comments of good luck would be appreciated. These boys need to see all of this. They're in a position to win district, which is huge anytime you can win district in any sport, and then get themselves in the playoffs. And let's just see how far we can go. So once again, big game Saturday at 11. They'll be going to play in Calhoun. They are soccer RF varsity soccer boys are currently in first place, and if they beat Calhoun and win out the rest of the games, these boys will be district champs, and then we'll get in the playoffs and we'll wreak havoc in the playoffs. So once again, when you see things on social media pages, please show your support by liking the post, and a good luck, congratulations goes a long ways for our boys. They played yesterday, Johnny. Um, on the road, they played at Yoakum. Got a big win yesterday. Our boys did 7-1. So congratulations. And then they've got another game Saturday, like I said, with Calhoun. But then they'll come back on Tuesday on the 16th, and they'll be playing Gonzales at Gonzales. So just wanted to send that out to the community that our boys are currently in first place, and continue to work hard to win district and get in the playoffs. So we'll continue to keep the community updated on how well these boys do every game. Our girls, I'm being told, are coached by Coach Lynch. I hope I got that right. Their record is 11-4. They've only lost one game, I believe, in district, which is to Beeville. We beat them the first go around. I think they beat us the second go around by a score of 1-0. The girls played Thursday on 3-4 versus Calhoun. Got a big win, 9-1. And then they played yesterday on the 8th at home against Palacios. Got another big win, Johnny, 9-0. So they got an upcoming game on Tuesday, on March 16th, and they'll be playing Gonzales. So these girls have got a lot of talent, as do the boys. Our soccer programs are excelling, and we definitely want to recognize these teams and keep the community updated on what both the boys and our girls are doing. And so again, I'll say that on Tuesday the 16th, the boys will be traveling to Gonzales, and they also have a big game this Saturday at Port Lavaca, Calhoun. Our girls have a game Tuesday, as they'll be playing also on the road at Gonzales. And Johnny, I believe I've got the roster for our Rockport-Fulton ladies soccer team varsity. I hope I got it right. No one told me. I kind of mentioned the roster for the boys, so I like to name the roster here for the girls. I hope it's the correct one. If I get the name wrong again, I apologize. I do the best I can. But if I'm correct, this is the Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates soccer varsity roster. Crystal Bueno, she's a junior. Kylie Kopp, she's a sophomore. Brianna Contreras, she's a junior. Jessica Scheibe, she's a sophomore. Rachel Berrigan, I believe she's a senior. Kaylee Skinner, she's a junior. Sophia Byram, she's a sophomore. Nevaeh Davila, she's a senior. Brenda Aguilar, she's a junior. Madison Duval, she's a junior. Susanna Dawkins, she's a sophomore. Ashley Wells, she's a junior. Lilith Solis, she's a junior. Danielle Dawkins, she's a senior. Riley Parker, she's a sophomore. Caitlin Raymaker, Raymaker, I hope I got that right. She's a senior. And Caitlin Whitten, I hope I got your name right as well. She's a junior. So if I'm correct, Johnny, these are Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates soccer varsity players roster. I just kind of wanted to
This guy was
give them.
scoring for points, man.
Yes, I mean these girls are dominating. Not really sure what happened with Beeville. You can have an off game, but these girls, they've got some players, and as you can tell, there's a lot of underclassmen there. So, as I always talk about when I talk about we talk about any sport in Rockport, right? You always look at the underclassmen and what's coming up. The seniors are leaving. There's good leadership there, but you always want to look at, what's coming up. And I'm telling you, these girls are playing good. I got to get out there and watch a few games too before a district ends, but they are scoring a lot of points, Johnny. These girls are very talented. And once again, I'll tell you guys same thing as we talked about softball. You see a post, let's show these girls, show them a lot of support. If you can go out to a game here at home, go out there, support these girls. Our program are excelling. As again, Coach Elkins for the boys, Coach Lynch. I don't have the names of the assistants. I'll continue to work on that, but I did want to get at least the head coaches out on this podcast. But again, the girls are 11-4 and counting. They've got an opportunity to win district as well, and then we'll see how far we can go in the playoffs. So that's exciting, Johnny, to be able to get. If the girls, our softball girls, can get to the playoffs, then we have the soccer girls, um, the soccer boys. Man, it's an exciting time here at Rockport. So we'll continue to keep the community updated on their games through this podcast every Wednesday, and also we update them on our social media pages as well. So we'll continue to support the our Rockport Fulton athletes, which is great here on the Pirate Cove. Um, Johnny, I also got I believe let me see. I believe we got some baseball to talk about, Johnny. So our baseball boys, our Rockport Fulton varsity baseball team, they're coached by Coach Elizondo. I think it's his first year here. He's got a lot of young talent. He's got a lot of freshmen on that team, a lot of underclassmen. I went to go see him. I said last week, one game I've been able to catch so far, and that was we went to Yoakum. I was very impressed with the boys. They went undefeated in that tournament, and just having that many young players playing big. I know you got to go through some growing pains with these young guys, but man, I'm telling you, and I said this last week, and I'll say it again this week. Our boys are coming. Rockport baseball is going to be put on the map here in a few years, man, because they've got a lot of talent. And they currently sit at 6-3. I know Tuesday we went to well, actually it was Thursday. I think it was a Rockport tournament that they had. I don't know what it's called, but I found out that they were playing here. I hope I got my information correct. And then so on Thursday, this past Thursday, we played Incarnate Word IWA, and we tied 1-1. Um, and on Friday we played Orange Grove. Took the loss on Friday, 7-0. Orange Grove beat us. But we came back later on that day and played Benavides and got the win 9-2. So our boys bounced back very well. And then on Saturday, we played Edna, and we lost a really close one, 5-4. And that just kind of shows you the talent that Rockport has. They're fighting every game. You lose a game, you come back and win big, and that's what you want to see after a loss. You want to see the boys bounce back and see what they got. And they came back and they bounced back against Benavides after the loss to Orange Grove 9-2. So that's great. The boys also had the second district of the season yesterday as they played the Miller Bucs at Whataburger Field in Corpus. They take the big win 13-0. I don't have the stats, but the next time that I talk about the boys, I'll make sure that I have the stats as you have the stats
I
for
was I
the
was there at that game, and I just know there was a lot of hits.
yeah. Yeah, and they hit, Johnny. I mean, these guys are hitting, and they're you don't want to call them babies, right? But they're freshmen. They're young, playing big, and they're going to get better every game. And I'll be honest with you, I look for this team to make the playoffs. I don't think that they'll win the district. It's tough sittings. I've seen sit and play. They're always tough. But, I think these boys can definitely make the playoffs. And like I said, you've got the whole team coming back after one full season. They didn't play last year. I think last year our team was senior heavy, but because of COVID, we couldn't play. So, they all graduated, and we got to start over again with Coach Elizondo. He's been in Rockport for a while, but this is, I think, his first year as the head coach. And so he's got his work cut out for him and assistants, but they're off to a great start. Like I said, 6-3-1. And, this is going to be a good season for us. And the next 2-3 years, man, watch out. Rockport baseball is coming. And then upcoming, I believe, if I got this correct, they should be having a Goliad tournament if they're still going to play in it, which would be Thursday. They'll play against Edna. And then Thursday again, they'll play against West Oso. Friday, they'll have two games against Mathis and Goliad. And then Tuesday on 3/16, they'll be playing against Alice. And I'm not sure if on Tuesday the 16th, Johnny, if Alice is a district game. I don't think it is, but they'll be playing on Tuesday, March 16th. Our baseball boys will be playing Alice, and I think it's at Alice. So we'll continue to give updates on their games as well, and we'll have stats next week on our Pirates Cove podcast here on Wednesday on the boys and what they're doing. But season looks bright for Rockport baseball, so we need to get behind these boys and show them the same support. Our baseball team's doing really good. Johnny, I also like to congratulate Kaylee Howe. She was named for our basketball. She was named to the 4A All Region team. That's an accomplishment itself. But you saw what our basketball girls did this year with same thing. First year coach Coach Hale, who by the way uh, she graduated from Rockport. I actually saw them play. I think there were one game back when she was playing for Rockport. I think there were one game. I hope I'm saying this right. They were one game away from the state title game when she played for Rockport. So it's got to be exciting for her to be able to come back and coach these girls to come back to your old alma mater, right? And then get on a 20-game win streak your first year here. To have all these girls return back after also being district champs, man, that season looks good next year, and I can't wait for basketball to start up again. But Kaylee Howe, congratulations, named to the 4A All Region team. What a great accomplishment. And then Johnny, also the powerlifting team. I think we have three girls that are going to be going to the state meet. Valeria Ramirez, Cheyenne Martinez, and Steely Snyder. I don't know when it is, but they qualified. So congratulations to the girls as well. Listen, man, that's a great accomplishment. These girls work hard to get to this point, and just to show them some support. I mean, it's exciting to see that these three girls have made it this far. So congratulations to the three of them. And what an accomplishment this year as a job that they've done. And then finally, Johnny, I talked last week. I said that we were going to be talking about our tennis, which I have not seen one match yet. And I'm going to continue to follow and get more information. But from what I've gathered, I think it was this past Thursday and Friday. I think they had a tournament here in Rockport. The girls double got second place, A division. Jamie Bleeker, and Emma uh, Jungman got second place. I hope I'm saying their names correctly. And then boys single, first place, A division. Sam Holden. Boys double, first place, A division. Eli didn't get the last name. And David didn't get the last name either. But they got first place A division, and then first place B division. Jabby Tarkin, Tarkington and John Larson. Um, And then mixed doubles, first place A division. You know what? Let me hold up here for a minute. I think I can do a better job this way. You know, one thing that's hard for me, Johnny, is I can't read my own handwriting. Ain't that horrible? That's just terrible, man. That's just
I
terrible.
do
But
that sometimes.
you can't read your handwriting.
Sometimes, yeah.
You know, give me a second. Okay, I think I can read it better. So let me try this again. So in tennis, our girls double second place A division was Jamie Bleeker and Emma Jungman. Boys single first place A division was Sam Holden. Boys double first place A division Eli Johnson, Daniel Garza. First place B division JB Tarkington and John Larson. And then in our mixed doubles first place A division Hunter Brock, Emily Sundberg. So we also, want to recognize our tennis team as well for the job that they're doing. Like I said, I haven't watched a tennis match, but I'm going to try to make it out there too, because we want to definitely talk about all our sports and recognize them here on the Pirates Cove. So, Johnny, we went a little over the 45-minute mark, but we're still under the hour. There's a lot of things going on, as you can tell. We have our softball girls, still ranked number one, working hard to win district and get in the playoffs. We got our soccer boys in first place right now. Got a big game on Saturday, and they're looking to be district champs and get into the playoffs. Our girls could also win district and get into the playoffs. Our boys, anything can still happen. They can win district, get into the playoffs. Young team, but I'm telling you, if you get a chance, come out and watch our baseball boys. The talent these guys have at a very young age, it's exciting to see them. They hit the ball. It's just exciting to go out there. I had a good time out there when I watched them against Yoakum in that tournament, and I look forward to going back and watching more games. Come on out and support these guys, man. They're exciting to watch, and they're going to be around for a few more years here at Rockport. So when you get the opportunity, come out, support them, show them some love. These boys are playing really good baseball. You saw we talked about the three girls that made it to state in powerlifting. We just talked about what our tennis is doing. We've got a lot of things. These athletes and our sports, they're excelling here at Rockport. And I've talked about this in the last two podcasts, Johnny, here on the Pirates Cove, where the last few years, um, Rockport's really excelled. We're getting better every year in all of our sports. And so congratulations to, Coach Seibert. He's a head guy here. He's a football coach, but he's also the athletic director. Bringing in these coaches, the work, all the coaches working with these kids, getting the best out of them, and it's showing on the field and the sports that they're playing by winning district, getting into the playoffs, getting past the first round, going second, third round. That's a credit to our players, but it's also a credit to our coaching staff and the job that they do day in and day out to get the best out of our athletes. That's not an easy thing to do. So congratulations to all the coaches, our players, community, keeping you guys updated as much as we can here on the Pirates Cove, so that you guys will know what's going on with every sport. Individual recognition, girls and boys getting their individual recognition, what they're doing individually and as a team. We want to keep the community updated so that they can send out some love to these kids. They deserve it, man. There are athletes here at Rockport-Fulton High School. Let's continue to support them. And as long as I've got the Pirate Code, Johnny, we're going to be doing our job, and that's to keep the community updated on what these guys are doing this year and beyond. So, as I always do here on the Pirates Cove, Johnny, I'm going to give you the final word.
I really don't have anything this time. Like you said, the athletic program has come up a long way in the last few years. I know when I was at school, we weren't all that great. We were in lower classification, so uh, This school's coming around a long ways, like you said.
And Johnny, with that, I like to say, the other day I was going through YouTube, man. I was, checking out our pages, and I was just kind of strolling, and I come across some football, right? So I'm hitting the last few years our playoff stuff, and I'm strolling up, and then whoa, I see something 1993, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, Rockport against the Odom Owls. So I hit it, and I'm watching it, and what was different was I remembered it. We used to sit on what's now the visitor side, right?
Right.
We didn't sit on the home side. So, and then we had that concession stand that was, it wasn't like it is now. It's a little white one right there on the side, right? I mean, I was just thinking and all that stuff. I could even see on the background where we used to have uh, basketball courts. I remember I used to go down there and play basketball. We used to have the basketball courts, right? It just looks totally different. And then I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm like, okay. So I start watching, I can hear the band playing. So I'm sitting there watching. And of course, 93. Okay. I remember the year before they had, Daniel Vasquez and all those guys. I said, so this has to be Robert Heron, Dat Win, and all those guys. And it was. Well, lo and behold, there was a number 40 running the ball. Man, he was running over some people, man, getting 6, 7 yards at the beginning of the game. I'm like, who is this guy? I didn't remember. Then it popped into my mind. Johnny Zavala used to run the ball. And he used to run and block for Robert Harris. Robert, that's got to be Johnny Zavala, man. I tell you, you're number 40. I think I texted you, were you number 40? I was watching it. Man, you were getting like 6, 7 yards a carry in that game. I mean, you were just running over people. I mean, it was just great to see. I'd forgotten that. So it was a throwback, and it was great to see that game. I mean, I know I used to watch you guys, but man, it was just great to go back all the way to '93 and watch you play and all those guys, man. I mean, that win was still a killer. I was watching him on defense, man. Couldn't be blocked then. I mean, he was just getting in that backfield and wreaking havoc. So it was great to see you guys play a game. I watched that whole full game, man. Do you remember if Rockport won or lost?
We had to win. Yeah, because we didn't lose a district game.
Man, that was awesome to watch you guys, man. I'm sure you go back every now and then and take a look at it and watch yourself. I would. I know I would. But it was great to watch you guys. It was good to watch you play. Like I said, you were gaining about 5 to 7 yards just about every play, I think it was. It was good to watch you guys. I just kind of want to throw that up there. I didn't even think we went back that far, Johnny, to go back to 93. I mean, I was it 93?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought I knew we had gone back because we were going back like a few years back, 2, 3 years, but this is way back that it popped up there. I wonder if there's any more of those games out there on YouTube.
That I don't know of. I know there was somebody from Odom posting those.
Wow. Well, it was nice to see it, man. It was great, man. It was great to go back all the way to 1993 and see that. Just the game and just the way things were set up back then, totally different than the setup now. But once again, that concludes episode 3 of the Pirates Code podcast. Johnny, I want to thank you for coming down and breaking down the game once again for us. And to all the people that watches, that's going to be what Johnny does all the time. He breaks down the softball games. He's going to do that every Wednesday that we come on. He'll be talking about individual stats of our girls, what they did. He'll also be talking about the games that were played. And then he'll also, as you heard him say, he'll be breaking down other teams in the district as far as what they're doing every week in terms of when we get to the playoffs, and also keep us posted on what's going on with the other teams in this district. So he'll be doing that every week to keep everybody posted. And Johnny, so I thank you. I'll also be talking about the other teams, the other sports as well. Don't forget that Johnny will post things also on the Pirates Cove uh, about the girls softball, and he also go if you're following him on his own page, he'll post things up there. I also want to say, Johnny, thank you for posting up those pictures of the girls. It was great, man. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully, we can continue to post more pictures and put them up on the Parts Cove Instagram. But until then, Johnny, I want to say thanks a lot. Episode 3 has been concluded. Here at the Pirates Cove. I'm going to go ahead and start editing it if I have to. And the podcast, the episode will be uploaded later tonight, and it'll be ready for viewing late tonight or early tomorrow. So until then, like we do here at the Pirates Cove, man, Have a great night, Johnny, and
Peace out.
peace out.